Hello, doing another vlog now. This will be number three. Yeah, the third one now. So, yeah, been here. Well, funnily enough, the day I flew out to South Korea from the UK was the day that Liz Truss was appointed as Prime Minister, and now she is gone. And I've been teaching I've been teaching in South Korea longer than she's been Prime Minister, so that's a little bit amusing. Yeah, so since last time, well, bank account now, so don't have to rely on UK bank accounts, or I can actually make card payments for things, so I can get out a little bit more. Yeah, so last what was it last weekend I went on a bit of a shopping spree. Had just got myself some new clothes, some new trainers, stuff like that, and some comfortable pillows at last. So able to find some of them, and going out a little bit more for me as well. Going out, I mean, using the machines where you can slip your card in for more imaginative food. So yeah, I'm doing a bit of that. What else happened? Last week I met up a couple of missionaries out here in Sejong City. Apparently, it's quite a big thing. Apparently, their church is quite a worldwide organisation, and yeah, they send in missionaries to teach many books like Old Testament, New Testament, Book of Mormon, and so forth. And they teach to South Korea, like people in South Korea, and also teach English at the same time. So yeah, we had that. That's something we've all got in common. And went out to this place. I believe it's pronounced Pradak. You have to say it very quickly. I've tried some incredible boneless chicken out there in that restaurant. Absolutely amazing, brilliant choice for them. And yeah, just this morning, I had a bit of pain in my hip, so I couldn't join in. But I watched those guys play a bit of football, right, with some of the locals. And next Saturday, I'm hoping I can join in. Yeah, and it looked so much fun. Quite a big squad as well, and so you got the two American missionaries with in the same team as some of the local lads from neighbourhoods, and of course they were asking me about Tottenham and Son Heung-min, and I was like, yeah, we'll know about him, and I'm really a Southampton fan and all that, so yeah, that was to be expected. Yeah. Also this week, this coming week, there'll be the Halloween party. So that involves a costume. I'm going to be picking... Shall I reveal it here? No, I'll reveal it in the next one, but I've got my costume all ready, and I've got my Nerf gun ready as well for it, because that's a requirement. Very Halloween, I know. But yeah, you'll see who I am very soon. How's the school go? Getting used to things now, getting used to how the lessons work. Just working on how to effectively teach. Just the one rather difficult class can be a bit naughty, but the other 8 classes, are very good students I teach, are really good. A great bunch. Excuse me. Yeah, I just had some lunch. Just had a little trip to Paris Baguette again. Just got a few things from there. I just love the Paris Baguette. And the other place is, I think it's Tour Le Jour. I think the other place is. That's just on the same street as Paris Baguette, and I get a few things from there. They do lovely kimchi croquettes there, like kimchi like donuts sort of things. So I like one of those for lunch. So yeah, yeah. Sort of get now got my own login details. Got my own SIM card as well, and and yeah, so yeah, life's getting a little easier, and this is a chance to go out and do a few more things now that yeah, got the money behind me. So yeah. Yeah, that first few weeks was good, but so they've looked after me here at the school. They've helped me set up my bank account, helped me get a decent SIM card as well, and yeah, it's making life a little bit easier. And I'm starting to get to know my students what areas they need to improve in. Like, I'm noticing that grammar, particularly past and present verbs, is where they need to improve. So I'm looking into if there's maybe time at the end of a lesson, if we get everything done, maybe looking to doing like a little 5-minute session of Kahoot, or the missionaries mentioned another one, Quizits something. I wrote it down on my phone, so I'll have a look at that later, see if I can get them interested in that as well. I first learned about Kahoot from teaching in a language school in the UK, actually. Saw it done, so that's good. Yeah. What else? I don't think there's very much else to say other than that, really. How's my diet? My diet's going quite well. I usually like to make a nice omelette with veggie sausage in the morning, and with that, with a bit of steamed leek or a bit of steamed pak choy to keep the health up. Lunch is usually either a power spaghetti or tour le jour, whatever it is, and dinner is usually dumplings, a bit of ramen, a bit of red cabbage as well, or purple cabbage, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and what else has been happening? There's something else. Something else I was just about to say. What else have I been doing? It'll come to me in a bit. But yeah, still Disney Plus in the evenings. That was it. I'm looking. I will not be joining a gym anymore because I've looked around the parks, and now I have trainers. I can go for a run in the morning. So occasionally I go for a little jog in the morning. I usually jog to some of the gym equipment in some of the parks, and I'm learning how to use some things. There's some obvious ones like the sit-up bench, and then there's some less obvious ones like there's this like wheel sort of thing where you have to rotate with two hands, and that actually does help a bit, surprisingly. Yeah. So yeah, I've been getting into that. So that's actually how that's actually why my hip is hurting a little bit today. Yeah, but I'm making it my mission to get in shape, but without paying for a gym, because the thing is, I just think a gym would be a bit inconvenient. You have to sort of bring all your change of shoes, change of trousers with you everywhere. And in my case, I'm only getting exercising like twice a week, like weekends, and maybe a little bit in the morning, depending. So it's just not worth the money for me to have a gym membership. So just using the going a bit Rocky Balboa and just using what's around me rather than paying for a Ivan Drago subscription. So by the way, if you've not seen Rocky 4, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. So. Just using the gym equipment in the park. That's good fun. Yeah, and I'm getting the hang of the buses at last as well. I was struggling a bit with how to use the little tapping card on there, but I've figured it out. So I've had some good advice from one of my other teachers as well. So just this morning. The football I just mentioned this morning, it was the other side of the river in Sejong, and overlooking a mountain on one side and a whole collection of white residential buildings on the other side. It was very, very interesting sight. It's like nothing I'd ever seen before. So so big sports pitch there, and so I'm seeing a little bit more of the city, and might have to check a bit north of the city, government buildings in Sejong as well. Plans for the future, The missionaries were mentioning a bear place nearby, as like wild bears or something. That sounds really interesting. I've looked around the Sejong area. There's like historic village somewhere nearby, which I'm curious to find out about. I haven't taken a bus into Daejeon yet, but there's quite a bit of few things going on around there. One of the teachers at my school, he goes there quite a lot. In fact, a few of them go there quite a lot. So I'll have to venture out there at some point, and I can start venturing out a little bit more. But this weekend, I'm just having a bit of a relaxed weekend. Today's Saturday, as I'm recording this. Not sure what I'm doing on Sunday. I might go to the cinema. I saw a trailer for that film that's been out in the UK and US for a while. The one where the two girls climb a big tower in the middle of this California desert. I can't remember it might be called The Fall. I don't know. It's something like that. But I saw a Korean advert for it, so I might have to check the local cinema, see if it's playing there. I might have to give that a watch. Then again, look at all the films I've got on Disney Plus. Might not necessarily be worth it. Disney Plus. So I've watched through. So I'm taking a little break from the Star Wars stuff. Watched a few of the Marvel films. Watched. I watched. Was it Winter Soldier? Watched that. Watched Civil War again. Watched that. Watched Thor, the first one. I haven't seen that in ages. And just watched Captain Marvel again. It takes a little while to get used to the first 30 minutes. It takes a little while to get into, but I find that when Captain Marvel meets up with Nick Fury, I think those two work off each other really well, and they're a lot of fun watching those two together. Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson, they just work great together, and I loved watching those two. And of course that little cat who's not really a cat. I won't say any more on that one. And there's that great scene in the middle of the film where there's the flashback and she finds out who she really is, and all the pieces sort of fall together, and she's in the field in the evening and it hits her who she really is, and that's just such an amazing scene in the film. I thought the villains were a little bit disappointing, like a bit boring, the villains, and she doesn't really do much to unlock her true powers at the end. A little bit doesn't really work for her powers very hard, which is a bit disappointing. But still, I'd say my fifth favourite of the Marvel films. My favourite being Black Panther, which I did rewatch again recently, and second favourite would probably be Civil War. Third favourite probably Winter Soldier. Fourth favourite would be Ant-Man and the Wasp, just because it's so damn funny. So that's Disney Plus. It's serving me well. Watched through a lot of the old Simpsons and Family Guy and a few of the Futurama episodes. I might have to watch a few more there. Not really much more to tell. It's just getting used to life in Sejong and getting to know the children that I'm teaching. Next time I suppose I'll talk about the Halloween party. One thing I love about our school is how close we are. Like, I think it was somebody's birthday, and we had whenever there's a birthday, there's usually a cake from over the road for that person. So another bit of chocolate cake last week. One of the teachers burnt her hair on the candle. That's an interesting doing in South Korea. They don't have necessarily numbered candles. They do, but one very big candle represents the number 10. So if you're 30, you have 3 very big candles, something like that. I'm also noticing this weird game that they play, where they sort of face each other and they sort of have to turn. They sort of guess where they turn. So if they do that, their heads turn like this, or do that. And if they're caught going the same way, they're out. I'll have to find out what that game's called, but I noticed them play that a lot. They're really into their Pokemon cards. They're into their Pokemon bread as well. Oh, and market day. This is interesting. So I stamp the children's books at the end of each lesson, give them like 5 stamps, and they can cash in those stamps for sweets on market day. And even some students even give me like something like give me a chocolate lollipop, like a chocolate Tootsie Roll. One of the students he gave me a little piece of square cheese. It was really nice. Really grateful of that. And I'll just show you one more thing before I go. Some of the students give me some Pokemon cards. Here we go. Where are they? Here we are. Here we are. So we got Poliwag and Mud something. I forget his name. There we are. But they've got Korean names anyway. Some of these Pokemon. So so I guess it doesn't really matter. And it's not like they're particularly useful Pokemon there. So. But I do like the fact that they give me Pokemon cards. Sort of give me the useless ones. I quite like that. It's really adorable. And our creative thinking projects are a lot of fun. I actually have to record them on my phone and upload them to the school's website for the parents to see. There's a lot of interactive. It's quite technological, so I get to mark speaking homework as well. So so it's all going quite well. So this is number 3 in my videos. I will do more. I'll probably do another one after the Halloween party and reveal who I'm dressing up as. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll do my next one soon. Goodbye.